I want to show you two things about attaching the embroidery hoop to the Bernina 880 embroidery module. Number one, how to do it, and number two, when to do it. I do have to say this has been a question I've seen often, that when people put the hoop on too soon or you're not actually recognizing what the machine is asking. So number one, the machine will tell you when to put the hoop on and when it needs to calibrate and such. So let's just start by bringing in a design. I'm going to just randomly jump into any one of the folders. How about let's just do this first one. And yes, you do need to make sure that the hoop that you plan to use is the one that's showing on the screen. Now, if this design had come up much smaller, it might have recommended that we use the medium or even the small hoop. So if you had planned to use the oval hoop, you'll need to come in here and actually tell the machine which hoop you plan on using. And that's so the machine can't get confused. So if you do put the wrong hoop on, it will tell you. So at this point, you can add lettering, add another design, as long as everything's within the hoop. Notice where my hoop is. It's kind of sitting right on the inside of the machine. And this is actually where I like to set it. I get my fabric all hooped and prepped, but it doesn't need to be on my table. It doesn't need to be in my way, and it definitely is not ready to be on the embroidery arm. Now I know it's way far over here because the last thing I did was some sewing with the embroidery unit on. So definitely, if you think about it, if you attach the hoop way out here, it's going to like end right here. The machine is not going to allow you to put that hoop on there because when it moves into position, there would be probably a chance that it might hit the foot. That is one reason why Bernina always tells you when to put the hoop on. So let's say we're ready to start embroidering. Touch the needle with the little 3 dots. And then look at the screen. So the screen is actually asking you to squeeze the 2 little brackets and place it onto the embroidery arm. Look, it's also much closer to the needle, meaning I'll need to slide it underneath the foot to even be in the right position. Now, here's a little trick about attaching the embroidery hoop. So number one, you need to make sure that you are doing it with some force. Make sure that when you squeeze, lift up and press all the way down, that the machine recognizes it. And did you see how that picture changed? It's showing you that the next thing it's going to do is it's going to move. So you might want to make sure you don't have anything in front of the hoop, behind the hoop, clear off your table, because it is going to move. By doing this check mark, it is going to also be checking to make sure that it sees the hoop you told it you'd be using. So there's actually little like bevels right here on the edge of the hoop, and so as it sees those, it knows which hoop you have on. So the machine is really smart. So you can't goof up, but yet you do have to follow in the right order for attaching the hoop. And yes, it is okay to take the hoop off in the middle of an embroidery design. It knows exactly what stitch you're on. You can get in there and change your bobbin, change your needle, change your foot if you feel like having the hoop off is helpful. Some of your in the hoop projects are going to be easier if you take the hoop off and do some trimming or placement or taping of the next step down. So just note that at any given time, it is no problem to take the hoop off. And then when you go to put it on, you do have to make sure that it's not going to check you, that you squeeze and that those brackets almost kind of expand into the locking mechanism. And that hoop is so strong and sturdy, especially with this slide-on table. If you put that on, it can handle even your heaviest projects that you plan to embroider on. If any of these tips have been helpful, make sure you give us a thumbs up on this video and check out all the videos we have done on the Bernina 880. You'll find links to all the details of our online courses and our complete playlist of all our videos in the description below.